I'm going to call the third special meeting of the 13th Undergraduate Senate to order. Everyone, please take your seats. President Payano.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. I'm sorry. As you guys heard today, we lost a member of our community, Kenneth Clark. And I would appreciate if the Senate, in honor of his memory, we take a minute of silence before we get into this election crazy mode, because Kenneth was a dear member for some of us in this room who knew him, and was part of the Methodist scholarship group, and he was very involved, and people knew him, and people in his whole Rumford really knew him. And I think that it's just our duty to take a moment of silence, so I would appreciate it. 1 minute. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Payano. I will begin by calling roll. Senator Pintar. Senator Hawk.
Here.
Senator Dantzler.
Here.
Senator Burgess. Senator Meekum.
Here.
Senator Chen.
She just stepped out.
Senator Adams.
Here.
Senator Polinsky.
Here,
Senator Najafi.
Here.
Senator Koshman. Senator Fryer.
Here.
Senator Kenna.
Here.
Senator Martine.
Here.
Senator Morrow. Senator Zitzman.
Here.
Senator O'Connor.
Here.
Senator Leaney.
Here.
Senator Aljaber. Senator Legitimacy.
Here.
Senator Agdepa. Senator Robbins.
Here.
All right, quorum is met. We good? This one? We will move to the adoption of the agenda. Any discussion on the current agenda? Senator Zitzman.
I move to merge the individual class and school council races according to their class and school.
Okay. Is there any other, is this what you wish to see?
Yeah.
Is there any other discussion on the agenda? Seeing none, it will be adopted without objection. All right, moving to peer to public comment. Any members of the public wishing to speak at this time? Seeing none, we will move on to reports from officers. First to Commissioner DeGose.
Hello, everybody. Gonna try and explain everything that happened this election in terms of the running of the actual system. As you might know, there were a couple of issues right at the beginning, mostly within the first hour or two, that were corrected very quickly. A couple of names were spelled wrong on the ballot. One name was missing from the race that was rectified within an hour and a half. And there was most blatantly the option of none of the above missing on every single ballot. This was the one thing I could not fix. All of these were due to OIT issues, even though I communicated with them very early on. But it is my point of view that this did not affect any of the races in any realistic way and should not detract from any sort of certification. Besides the issues in the first hour, which I also do not believe affected the races in any way, it really went off without any other issues. There was one 15-minute blackout, but that didn't prevent anyone from voting afterwards or cancel any already cast votes. So all in all, I recommend that we certify this election because in terms of its basic runnings and functionality, everything was fine. And I'm open to any questions.
Questions for the commissioner? Senator O'Connor.
So in the last Senate elections, we had similar issues where people's names were missing, spelled wrong, things were, like, I know this isn't your fault, but how does this keep happening with OIT, and what can we do in the future to correct this?
I wish I knew. I feel like a lot of it is human error that just comes from the fact that so much information is moving over into such a specific setup spreadsheet kind of system. I don't know the best way to fix it. Maybe look into alternative methods of voting. But the issue with that is that the way that we vote so specifically, only having certain things open depending on what your major is, depending on what your year is, necessitating a list of 7,000 undergraduate students, that for all of the issues that OIT seems to cause us, I feel like at the moment, until we create a fully new system from the ground up, there's no better way. We just have to deal with the issues. That's why I try and fix them as quickly as possible. All of the significant issues were fixed within an hour or two. And I don't know, if anyone has any ideas, please tell me, because I'd love to know.
Other questions for the commissioner? Seeing none, thank you. Next, we'll move on to JSET member LaRoche.
Hey, I really don't have a whole lot to say other than that we're very confident in the way that this election was carried out, and we look forward to certifying the election results. Thanks.
Questions for the JSET member? Senator Zitzman.
And just to clarify, when Jason met this afternoon, they certified the race, all the races.
Yeah, as I understand, we have to do it formally here, but yes, we are entirely confident in every single race.
Other questions for the member? Seeing none, thank you. Next to Judicial Board Chair Wills. Floor is yours when you're ready.
Can somebody give me a limited time?
Senator O'Connor.
I motion to Judicial Board Chair Wills.
Is there a second?
I second that.
All those in favor of granting Chair Wills unlimited speaking time for his presentation, say yay.
Yay.
All those opposed, say nay. All right.
So the J Board met today, April 6th at 3 p.m. And has decided a unanimous decision regarding the piece that we heard. So I'm just going to read it. Sorry, I had a long day. Okay, here we go. The facts of the case are as follows. On April 4th, 2018, the Samuel Rogers campaign sent a campaign email to 1,245 email addresses through MailChimp, which is also the service used by the Residence Hall Association. On April 5th, 2018, Robin Walters, in coordination with the Jared Delaney campaign, filed an inquiry with the judicial board claiming Rogers used his official powers as RHA president to send this campaign email to those on the RHA mailing list. The questions presented in this case are as follows. Did the Rogers campaign obtain and use the RHA mailing list? Did the Rogers campaign use official powers in order to obtain the RHA mailing list? Was the use of official powers in violation of the elections policy book? Was sending these emails considered harassment in violation of the elections policy book? And was sending these emails considered not in good taste in violation of the elections policy book? To the first question, whether the Rogers campaign obtained and used the RHA mailing list, we believe the evidence is unquestionable. The list of recipients who received the email in question, as provided by the Rogers campaign, is identical to the RHA mailing list. Furthermore, the idiosyncrasies, duplicates, and formatting errors among the two lists match perfectly. We find absolutely no reason to believe that the Rogers campaign was able to organically produce the exact same number and identities of students as the RHA list. To the second question, whether the Rogers campaign used official powers in order to obtain the RHA list, we believe that only through official powers could the RHA list have been obtained and subsequently used in the first place. Even if Rogers did not obtain the RHA list himself, he is responsible for all actions of his campaign, including the knowledge of where such a list of students originated and its retrieval for campaign purposes. To the third question, whether the use of official powers was a violation of the elections policy book, we believe it was. Article 1, Section 3, Subsection 2, Subsection D states that the use of official powers is prohibited by candidates and campaign staff. Nothing suggests that this provision in the elections policy book is only limited to student government officials. The use of official powers to campaign is prohibited both within student government and beyond. Campaigns should not send emails to students unless those students have voluntarily given their email address to the campaign, as opposed to someone on a campaign obtaining email addresses through their official positions. To the fourth question, whether sending these emails is considered harassment in violation of the elections policy book, we believe it was not. The judicial board does not believe the act of using an email address without the owner's permission constitutes harassment. To the fifth question, whether sending these emails is considered not in good taste in violation of the elections policy book, we believe it was not. The question is answered within the context of the previous answers and is therefore dismissed as an independent charge. We find the Rogers campaign to be in violation of the elections policy book by obtaining the RHA mailing list through official powers and subsequently using the list to send a campaign email. The sanctions available to the judicial board are limited to 5, 3 of which affect campaigning and are no longer relevant. Therefore, we are left with 2 options, a public letter of apology and disqualification. Ordering a public letter of apology without disqualification admits Rogers did something wrong but was not subsequently punished for his actions. Ordering a public letter of apology with disqualification is useless since he is no longer eligible to win the election in question. Therefore, we do not order any public letter of apology to be made. Ordering disqualification is the only sanction thus available. While it is harsh, the judicial board believes sending campaign emails to students using a mailing list obtained through official powers by a candidate or their campaign that other candidates and campaigns would not otherwise have access to warrants such disqualification. The judicial board also believes that this sanction is warranted because of the scale of the violation. This email in question was sent to approximately 15% of the student body. Because the Rogers campaign continuously denied the unquestionable evidence to both the student government and subsequently the student body, the judicial board is not inclined to order a lenient sanction. We find further questions regarding the process of election certification for disqualified candidates. Because the judicial board cannot decertify any race, and because the judicial board cannot call for a special election to take place, if the Undergraduate Senate determines to certify the race for American University student government president and Rogers wins, the second place candidate shall be declared the winner. If the Undergraduate Senate determines to decertify the race for American University student government president, a special election shall occur for student government president in compliance with the governing documents in which Rogers will be ineligible to run. Thank you.
Questions for the chair? Comptroller Wachowicz.
For a special election to take place, would that be required to happen within 30 days of the original election? Okay.
I can explain the certification for, or not, for presidential race when we get to it, if it's better. It's up to you. I can explain it again if anybody wants.
Other questions for the chair? Senator Robbins.
So, thank you. I just want to start by saying thank you for your diligence in devoting your time to this matter. Probably very stressful. I think I speak on everybody when I say thank you for all of what you've done. So I just want to make sure I understand correctly. So if certification is done tonight here by this body, and at the reading of the results, Mr. Rogers is the winner, then it will go to the second place winner. If we don't certify the results, then a special election will take place for president.
So let me explain
Yes, thank you.
why that is. So the problem is that we can decertify somebody from winning, but we can't stop Senate from decertifying a race. So if we disqualify a candidate and you certify that race, there's unknown of what would happen. So that's why we laid it out, and we think the second place winner should win. Now, the problem with that, I understand, is that if you have the choice between 3 candidates and one is out, and now you have the choice between 2, the second place winner isn't always the one that would win next. And so that's something you have to consider. But that's only if Rogers were to win. So we can't know, I know. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Other questions for the chair? Not currently. Senator Robbins,
Move to give the public speaking rights.
there's a motion to give the public speaking rights. Is there a second? Discussion on giving the public speaking rights. Senator Zitzman.
I'm not necessarily opposed to it, especially not this individual. And I guess it's not a huge deal because there's not many members of the public here. But I might not vote, or I probably won't vote against this motion, but I just do want to say that this isn't the same circumstances as when we normally give the public speaking rights. So I think we should think about it a little bit, like not saying we need to debate about it extensively, but just I don't want people to automatically vote yes like they would in other circumstances, but still a vote of yes is completely reasonable.
Is there other discussion on giving the public speaking rights? Seeing no other discussion, we will vote. All those in favor of giving the public speaking rights say yay.
Yay.
All those opposed say nay. 2/3 is met. Let me ask a question.
But it's just a question. You said that Sam is ineligible to serve a special election. That's not like forever. That's just if there's a special.
Correct. That would just be for this.
Other questions for the chair? Could you say your name for the record, by the way?
Sean.
Yes.
Could this decision be appealed?
No, the decision is not.
Other questions? Seeing none. Thank you, Mr. Wills. All right. So just to run down what's going to happen, when we move into new business, I will first have Mr. LaRoche offer or provide the recommendation of JSEP. If there's no motion to reconsider, then that race will be certified. You may motion to reconsider the certification of a race by a motion, and then we'll move into debate and discussion on that motion to reconsider. Is that clear for everyone? Questions? Okay. Moving into new business. First, the certification of the class of 2019 council races. Mr. LaRoche, what's the recommendation?
Recommend you certify all races.
Is there a motion to reconsider? Seeing none, the race for 2019 is certified. Moving to certification of the class of 2020 council races. Mr. LaRoche, what's the recommendation?
Certification.
Is there a motion to reconsider? Seeing none, the class of 2020 council races are hereby certified. Moving to the certification of the class of 2021 council races. Mr. LaRoche, what's the recommendation?
Certification.
Is there a motion to reconsider? Seeing none, the class of 2021 council races are certified. Moving to the certification of the College of Arts and Science council races. Mr. LaRoche, what's the recommendation?
Certification.
Is there a motion to reconsider? Seeing none, the College of Arts and Science council races are hereby certified. Moving to the certification of the School of Communication council races. Mr. LaRoche, what's the recommendation?
Certification.
Is there a motion to reconsider? Seeing none, the School of Communication council races are hereby certified. Moving to the certification of the School of Public Affairs council races. Mr. LaRoche, what's the recommendation?
Certification.
Is there a motion to reconsider? Seeing none, the School of Public Affairs council races are hereby certified. Moving to the certification of the School of International Services council races. Mr. LaRoche, what's the recommendation?
Certification.
Is there a motion to reconsider? Seeing none, the School of International Service council races are hereby certified. Moving to the certification of the Kogod School of Business council races. Mr. LaRoche, what's the recommendation?
Certification.
Is there a motion to reconsider? Seeing none, the Kogod School of Business council races are hereby certified. Moving to the certification of the secretary race. Mr. LaRoche, what's the recommendation?
Certification.
Is there a motion to reconsider? Seeing none, the secretary race is hereby certified. Moving to the certification of the comptroller race. Mr. LaRoche, what's the recommendation?
Certification.
Is there a motion to reconsider? Seeing none, the comptroller race is hereby certified. Moving to the certification of the vice president race. Mr. LaRoche, what's the recommendation?
Certification.
Is there a motion to reconsider? Seeing none, the vice president race is hereby certified. Moving to the certification of the president race. Mr. LaRoche, what's the recommendation?
Certification, but if I may, the outcome, JSEP it is not within the purview of JSEP to comment on the outcome of the election. We still recommend certification regardless of what J Board might have said.
Thank you. Is there a motion to reconsider? Seeing none.
If anyone has a comment, say it now. I know you guys are thinking of things, and everyone's considering both options. We should talk about it.
Senator,
Are you motion?
is that a
So
motion?
that's a motion to reconsider.
Okay, there's a motion to reconsider. Is there a second?
Second.
I hear a second. Senator Zitzman?
All right. So I agree, Leila, that like this is something like huge, so it should be discussed. But I think in that discussion, the best option is clearly to certify, and I have two main reasons for this. First is that observing the campaign closely, as I have over the course of it, I'm pretty confident in saying that all the votes are in, and I am pretty confident in the prediction that Sam didn't win anyway. So if we have either Jared or Val as the outright first place winner, it's just like nothing happened at all as far as J Board is concerned. And I think that is the balance of probability is very clearly in that direction. And second, even in what I consider to be the very unlikely scenario that Sam did win first place and then he got disqualified, a special election would be, I don't want to sound hyperbolic, but it would be a hot mess. We would have to do all the procedure over again. It's the end of the year, it's finals. We just got off of the J Board case. We have to do it in 30 days. There's no time for transition, especially because the executive board has a lot of seniors on it. Even in what I consider to be the very unlikely scenario that Sam wins first place and is then disqualified, I think it is a reasonable compromise to have the second place person be declared the winner. That's my thoughts.
Senator Robbins?
I know, and I respect that, Bobby, I really do, but I'm just really worried, like, if you're wrong, then the people may have had their fair say, they may have not, it had been the choice between two other people instead. So I'm really grappling with, I don't know if anybody else, what they're thinking, I'm really grappling with, like, I don't know what to do, because you know, if like it's taking a risk on the results of the election, and we're not always confident that the public's gonna vote the way that we think they're gonna vote. It's possible that you're right, it's also possible that you're not right, and then the question of like who would have actually won will stay in the public's minds, and I don't know.
Senator O'Connor.
So this is what I brought up last week, in regards to, referendums, like, be doing it. You know, campaigns are all about optics, and from an optics point, having a special election and, like, Bobby said, right around finals, look terrible for student government. And I highly doubt any people would pay attention, already been through 30 days of campaigning, and just the way the process of special election works. I don't really think it's fair to direct question. Yeah, I think.
Other points? Discussion. Senator Kenna?
Well, I'd like to agree with the sentiments expressed by Senator O'Connor and Senator Winston. Our consideration of whether to certify or not to certify should be based on what's right, should be based on whether election was conducted properly and that the student body was able to voice their opinion. And based on the report from Commissioner Jagos, that seems to be the case. And so regardless of what happened in the board case, the Senate should certify the election.
Senator Zitzman.
Yeah, okay, and I just want to say, Jacob, that your position is reasonable, like, I totally see that. But also, like, the concern is that if we don't do a special election, we just give it to the second place person, that might not be who the public would have chosen under a two-person race. But I'd say I think it's pretty clear that we also want to find out who that person would be in a regular two-person race if we do a special election. Because the special election isn't going to be regular in any sense. It's going to be rushed at the end of the year. People are going to have voter fatigue, so very few people are going to show up and vote. People are going to be confused. So I think like the special election might even be a worse picture of what the public wants than the second place winner. And that's all in the unlikely, I think, scenario that Sam wins outright.
Other discussion?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
What was the voter turnout for this election? And can you compare it to previous races, please?
And
Okay.
I unfortunately cannot say that. I will give you the voter turnout at 9 p.m. tonight in Tavern, but I can't.
Like the voter, so you cannot give me the whole number?
I cannot give you any numbers of
Oh.
any kind until. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Can you tell me what was in the past though?
Last year.
2000?
Chair Wills, yes.
You can tell the number of people who voted.
Oh,
Right.
I can.
Not specifically beyond that.
Well, then 2,500 people voted last year. 1,400 people voted this year. It was less than that. It was
And I just thank you for your answers. Just wanted to put it out there.
Other Senator Zitzman.
Yeah, sorry to keep piping up. I can talk too much. I have a habit, but I don't know if this is relevant to anybody's consideration of whether to certify or not. I just thought I have a thought, so why don't I say it? And it is that I suspect that the voter turnout was so low in this election, just like completely unrelated to all the events of the past 24 hours, because student government has had a really rough year and people are tired of us. So I think that is going to be the same case no matter what we do here tonight.
Senator Martine.
And echo that, if we have a special election, push it off for however many days, and it's closer it gets to finals, it's only gonna get lower. You know, we're not gonna see an uptick. It's a problem.
Other points of discussion? Seeing none. We will move to vote on, hold on, let me make sure I get this one right. Yeah, do that while I double check on that.
So you
entered into a period of debate reconsidering J substance. And he's gonna ask you now, because there was no more comment, whether to reconsider J sub's decision. If you vote yes, that means you overturn J sub's decision and the race is decertified. If you vote no, the race stands as certified. And it requires 2/3 to pass. So in order to overturn the decision, it takes 2/3. So as long, if it doesn't get the 2/3 majority of yes, then it makes.
Any inquiries? Okay. All of those in favor of reconsidering JSEP's recommendation, say yay. All those opposed, say nay.
Nay.
In the opinion of the chair, the 2/3, actually the 2/3 is not met, and therefore the recommendation of the presidential race stands and is hereby certified. No other new business, given a special meeting, no old business. Moving to appear to public comment. Any member of the public wishing to speak at this time? Seeing none, we'll move to the good of the order. Any executives for the good of the order?
I just want to say good night. Take care of yourselves. Regardless of what happened tonight, I think we need to move faith in the organization itself, because this organization is going to stand no matter who sits in these seats. And all we need to do is work on transition together and work collaboratively. So leave feelings at the door and try to bring professionalism at the table when these results are announced. And I hope that people stand by it.
Dr. Mascaro?
I just wanted to thank President Payano for getting the opportunity to give us a 1-minute period of silence in the beginning. What happened is very disappointing and very sad. And I think all of us are lucky to have a leader who recognized that. So thank you, appreciate that.
Comptroller Machovic?
Thank you to Noah, to Jacob, and to Alex. These jobs aren't easy, and the campaigns certainly are also not easy.
My fault.
At least to know that at least one thing is easy in AUSG. But yeah, so everybody just remember that, like, breathe. We're getting close to finals. For students first.
Secretary Schneider?
Really just want to thank you everyone for the process. I think obviously we still have another month, but of our own.
Other executives for the good of the order? Commissioner DeGoes?
And echo all those previous sentiments and say thank you all for coming. And I hope to see many of you and more in Tavern at 9 p.m. for the official results to be read.
No, I'll be there.
Senators for the good of the order. Senator Zitzman?
Yeah, people have already said thank you to Noah, but I want to provide a little bit of insight onto that because if any of you didn't know, I was made the inspector this week to help with elections complaints. I've now resigned that position, so I'm back to being just a senator. But in that position this week, I've been helping Noah with the complaints. And people, I've heard a lot saying like, oh, SG this year, almost got it. We got this far without any drama, and then the last day we got a hearing. But that's not really accurate. Almost every day this week, there has been something going on. There have probably been 10 complaints that have been filed. And Noah has like taken off a class and stayed up in the very early hours of the morning, messaging me on Facebook, trying to get me caught up on things, and spending an inordinate amount of time in the Senate office, especially considering that he's moving into the real world in like 14 days.
Senator Robbins?
I just want to say, I think we'll have President Vano at our next meeting. I just want to say thank you for all that you have done. You are going to be missed so much. You have stepped up in so many great ways. I think you deserve a round of applause.
Just saying, the president is April 29th. So I'm not a lame duck. I've heard that from multiple people. And Yami started to step out without a big band. So look out for the senior week and my emails. And until that person is sworn in 29th, I expect you all to still be as willing to work with me as you have now. After that, you guys can block my number, okay?
Other senator for the good of the order. All right, two things. One, as Commissioner DeGo said, 9 o'clock tavern is when the results are announced. Two, if I remember correctly from what I saw today, there is a vigil at 4 on Sunday. Service on Sunday. So that will be after the Senate meeting, and I'll remind those at the Senate meeting for those that wish to attend. But besides that, enjoy your weekend, get some rest, get ready for finals, and if there's no other good of the order, we are adjourned.